Once again, Chicago is in the news, and this story is horrible, just plain awful. What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim with another distressing rideshare video. Folks, this is a really bad one. As you see, the video is titled, Uber driver escapes wannabe serial killer. Strike the wannabe part. I want you to hear the details of this story coming from a Fox article. Man carjacks Uber in Chicago, picks up second suspect before killing two people in random shooting. That's according to police. Now, there's going to be a big lesson in the first half of this because I don't think many drivers adhere to this, and I certainly want to tell you folks this is very important. Just real quick, here's the details. On February 24th, Edens allegedly entered an Uber driver's silver 2020 Kia Sorento in Chicago, pretending to be the driver's designated pickup. Edens then displayed a handgun, took the car, and left the driver near an expressway ramp in Chicago. Lesson, folks, number one most important lesson to help pertain to your safety: keep your damn doors locked at all times. No passenger should be able to just walk up, grab your vehicle, and unlock the door. You should make eye contact with anybody entering your vehicle for the obvious reason: make sure it's the right person getting in your car. This is also why I have strongly suggested I'm not a fan of labeling your vehicle. If you have to have Uber or Lyft labels, lights, or whatever the hell they are on your vehicle, keep something on your vehicle that you can take off at a moment's notice. There are times when it is not in your best, it's not advantageous, rather, not in your best interest to have your car labeled as a rideshare vehicle. You got folks that just jump in vehicles, even if you're on a trip, expecting maybe I can offer them $20 and take this trip. Some folks do that, and once they're in your car, it's hard as hell to get them out. It's really difficult to get unwanted passengers out of your car. A lot of them really push back and refuse to get out. So if your doors are locked, it prevents a lot of this shit from happening. In this case, you got felons jumping in the vehicle. So keep your doors locked. That's the number one thing to take away from this, because in this case, this assailant was pretending, according to police, to be the Uber driver's passenger. Wasn't even a real passenger. Keep your damn doors locked. Continuing on, though. The Kia Sorento, or better yet, the Kia, was driven to Waukegan, where Edens allegedly approached the victim in the 500 block of South Genesee Street while wearing a mask and carrying a gun, and robbed him of $20. Committed a major aggravated felony to get $20, to only get $20. So this person clearly does not give a damn about their own life. But when you hear how this concludes, the sheer number of victims, should be obvious why this guy would do something so damn stupid just to get $20. But in addition to carjacking the Uber driver, robbing a random individual on the street at gunpoint for $20 damn, he went to Waukegan. This was a suburb about 30, 40 miles north of Chicago. So now we're outside of the city of Chicago, but Waukegan is hardcore hood as well. Went back to his home with the car he stole from the Uber driver, picked up a second suspect. So now there's two of these folks in the vehicle. Continuing on, the two allegedly drove by the 400 block of Powell Avenue, where they saw a man and a woman outside a residence. At the time, Edens allegedly shot both victims, identified as Rodrigo Olivan and Anna Gill, before telling Pitts, that's his accomplice, to shoot them and finish them off, police said. Now, these individuals, police have stated they had no type of connection to these individuals at all. So they just walked up, shot two people at random, and then finished them off to make sure they died. This is and they did both perish, by the way. But the story gets even worse. As we stated, wannabe scratched serial killers. They ended up crashing the vehicle in Zion, Detective work ended up leading them to Pitts. Now, this is a second individual that was picked up in Waukegan, the second suspect. It led them to Pitts. He already had an outstanding warrant for aggravated robbery, rather. That's just to not surprise you that this guy was already involved in prior crimes to just jump in the car with somebody who's already robbing folks and carjacking vehicles. But anyhow, they did catch Pitts, and he's now facing a double murder charge after the aggravated robbery he was dealing with. But the worst is Eddings, the one that actually carjacked the Uber driver. He by far takes the cake. Eddings fled Waukegan, Northern Illinois, and went all the way down to Killeen, Texas, if I'm getting it right. He was arrested there in Texas on an unrelated burglary charge. So he done fled Illinois, fled a double murder scene, and now he's in Texas still committing crimes, still committing major felonies. Talk about wanting to get caught. Whatever happened to laying low? You know, back in the day, somebody get in trouble, they lay low, try to stay out of the limelight so that authorities wouldn't catch up to. This guy can't stop committing crimes. Here is the awful details of Eddings, the one that originally carjacked the Uber driver in Chicago. On March 1st, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Eddings for 6 counts of first-degree murder. He is being held in Texas for the Waukegan arrest warrant and is waiting to be extradited to Illinois to face murder charges, police said. I don't even know who the other 4 folks were. 6 folks have been murdered by this one dude. As you see, he was willing to pull out a gun and rob a random individual for $20 damn. So he clearly was a loose cannon. The whole moral of this story, folks, is sometimes you can't avoid bad shit no matter what you do. Keep your doors locked, though. In this case, this driver really escaped the bullet. Simply, or dodged the bullet, whatever you want to say, you know, and pun is intended. Simply by complying and giving his vehicle up, giving up his 2020 Kia, it's probably what saved his life. Clearly, Eddings, who has 6 murders under his belt, would have taken that life of that Uber driver without any issue at all. If that Uber driver had to put up any resistance, it's safe to assume he would have popped them right off the bat. Folks, this is what we're putting in our vehicles. This right here is what we put in our vehicles. I've talked about this before. It's unpopular to some, but it is factual to all. Right now in 2024, the most dangerous passenger you can encounter is a young black male. Period. By far, the most dangerous passenger you can encounter in ride sharing is a young black male. Been covering stories for 3 years now. They overwhelmingly represent the assailants in these cases. Carjackings, robberies, this case a ridiculous amount of homicides, you name it. They overwhelmingly take the cake in who is doing this. Not trying to profile anything like that. I'm just simply telling you what the hell we're seeing it's happening. It's young black males. So be cautious of who's getting in your car, and in cases like this, what the hell is near your vehicle. Keep your doors locked. Be able to leave a scene at a moment's notice. I understand gas is a huge expense in rideshare, but sometimes you need to be able to take off at a moment's notice. Might be in your best interest in some of these issues or some of these cases to keep the car running. Nevertheless, yet another driver escaping what could have been, you know, the ultimate price. Wanted to bring this story to you just to let you guys know, be cautious, keep your damn doors locked, stay safe, keep your head on the swivel. See you in the next video.